it's my honor to introduce our next company. We're honored to have with us today Ms. Sally Gutierrez, a board member for BioLargo. BioLargo is headquartered in Westminster, California, and has technologies that solve challenging environmental problems comprising of PFAS and water contamination, advanced water and wastewater treatment, industrial odor, volatile organic compound control, air quality control, infection control, and a myriad of other environmental remediation technologies. The company has 310 million shares. Stock trades around 25 cents for a $70 million market cap and $3 million in net cash. Now I'd like to have Sally come up here, and we'll have a presentation followed by Q&A. Sally, welcome.
I've got to bring this down for those of us that are vertically challenged. Thank you very much for your participation today, and it's been just a lovely morning, and into the afternoon. I really have enjoyed learning so much, and to review a lot of things that I already knew. I want to thank Gabelli again for including BioLargo in the PFAS event. And I especially want to thank Tanya Chandler, who is the CEO of BioLargo's PFAS company. And she was the one that prepared this presentation and my talking points. So I'm going to do that. And some of you may know that I'm one of 3 board members on BioLargo's PFAS company. So it's them that I'm representing here today. As we have all heard, PFAS is such a widespread and pervasive problem across the globe. And I think one of the things that we need to continue to reinforce and to just keep in mind that, there's so much room at the table, and there is no perfect solution that applies overall. It is really an opportunity for collaboration and cooperation amongst all of us, right, as we try and bring these solutions to bear on this fantastic opportunity, but sadly challenging to public health and the environment. So, BioLargo is, again, focused on science and technology innovation to help solve some of the most pressing environmental and health challenges that we know. The presentation contains forward-looking statements. For the most complete information about the BioLargo business, including risk factors, which there are always, I would point the audience to the periodic reporting that is filed with the SEC. So that's very important. I guess the other kind of caveat here, I'm not a financial person, so I can't address those questions if they come to your mind there. The BioLargo team has business units in various states across the U.S. and Canada. The teams are made up of engineers, scientists, and industry leaders with a unified vision of creating new technologies that will make the world a better place. So I think that is one of the reasons why I decided to come to the company, because I really do believe in their mission and their goals. Okay. The company seeks out environmental and human health problems that don't have good or adequate solutions, and it's a unique blend of engineering project integrators, scientists, and one of the things that is always embedded within the work that the company does is to be a source of education to the industry. So when a company takes the new invention, when they come up with a new invention and they are deploying it, part of that is certainly to educate the market about why it's needed and what the compelling business case is for it. The underlying goal is to seek partnerships, as I said, to maximize impact on a global scale. Here is a diagram of the company. So there is the overarching part of the company that is BioLargo, but within BioLargo, there are subsidiary companies that are the ones that are commercializing and deploying these technologies. There is odor control type of company embedded within the overall BioLargo company. There is now a component that is battery storage, and this is not a lithium type of a battery facility or company. It is a sodium-based battery that is being deployed now, and we're starting to get a better handle on that. There's a medical wound care type of company that's embedded. And then finally, there's the water treatment unit, which I'm a part of. There we go. The recent annual report has details about the financial performance of the companies. So again, attendees can go read, if they want, the complete details. In the meantime, this year, there's been more technologies coming online, and the uptake of these technologies is continuing to grow in various sectors, industry sectors. And there is an expectation that next year is going to be a breakout revenue year. And I am most hopeful and believing that Clyra, the medical part, is going to take off like a rocket. So while the PFAS company is going to continue to make progress, really Clyra to me is going to be the best seller, so to speak. So this is, again, the deep portfolio of technologies that each has a chance to make transformative impact for the greater good. And BioLargo's current performance and its valuation is driven mostly right now by the odor control products. And we don't know right now how far that is going to go, but it's there as a central part of it. But again, Clyra is the medical part of it, and that's going to continue to make progress. And the battery technology company is very exciting, but they are still very early on there. But the need for this energy, and we've all talked about the data centers and other things and about how much is needed there. So we'll just leave that at that. But I think one of the things, and of course the PFAS company is there as well. But I think one of the compelling parts of the company is that because, you have all these component pieces, that even if one fails or one doesn't make as much progress in any given year, others will come up and lift the whole company forward. So moving on to now the BioLargo PFAS company. As we all know, these PFAS chemicals are in our water, our food, and countless other household goods, and sadly, they are in our bodies. So if anybody flossed their teeth this morning, you probably got a little hint of PFAS as you were doing that this morning. But sadly, these chemicals are widespread in every way, and we have to get them out of the water. But many of the more traditional technologies offer challenges to that. And, you know, the existing technology isn't many times as good about getting rid of all of the different types and the lengths of the carbons and this sort of thing, and that's especially true for the ultra short PFAS. And you know, this problem that has already been talked about today about, you know, granular activated carbon as an example, you know, you're just taking it out of the water, but it still has to be managed, and the life cycle costs for this are extraordinary over the long term. So this technology has a great advantage in that it does not produce anywhere close to the waste that is generated when you compare it to granular activated carbon. It works on all different types of PFAS, lower life cycle costs, you know, and it works on all types of water and waste streams, including, importantly, leachate. Here's how it works. So the what we call the aqueous electrostatic concentrator, or AEC, uses the polarity of PFAS molecules against themselves. The modular unit has an anode and a cathode that creates an electric field across the treatment module. PFAS migrate naturally toward an anode when PFAS are subjected to the electric field. It enhances the draw, pulling both the long and the short chains, and again, even the ultra shorts. Before they get to that anode, they get captured on the specialized membranes that are semi-selective for PFAS. The rest of the ions in the water go through the membrane, so this technology works by going across the membrane, not through the membrane, but the remaining ions go through the membrane and are blended back together. Therefore, it does not change the water chemistry, unless, of course, there is a desire upon the customer to do that. As a result, you know, the PFAS gets captured onto a much smaller volume of substrate. Once the membrane hits capacity, somewhere within 1 to 3 years, and again, that's based on how much is in the source water, the membranes have to be exchanged. And again, if one compares, you know, kind of the difference between GAC and this particular technology, there's only 1 pound of waste for every comparable 40,000 pounds of GAC. But we then take the waste and destroy it, and it addresses, I think importantly, the issue of future liability for the customer. The process has 3 steps. So PFAS gets captured on the AEC, stripping of the PFAS from the special membranes are then done using a patent-protected process, creating a goo. I'll show you the goo in a minute, and destruction of the resulting goo using a proprietary electro-oxidation system. So that's what the goo looks like. So, does it really, this waste issue and this liability issue, does it really matter? And recently, there was a conversation with a municipality in Florida that had to truck their waste to Utah, their GAC, And it cost them more than $1 million to transport those costs, and that wasn't even including the additional costs to replace the carbon. So there is, I think, another risk that may be looming out there, and that is who's going to take the waste, right? Are there going to be enough companies out there that they themselves are willing to take on the liability by taking this spent GAC? So the solution is unique and effective, and the scientists and the whole team have achieved non-detect levels below 1 ppt across all PFAS lengths, and with a variety of source waters, including groundwater, secondary effluent wastewater, and leachate. Because of how the water flows through the system, and again, it goes across the membrane, interference from competing ions and clogging from solids is not an issue. So the results from a variety of pilot tests show the efficacy of the process. And in this case, we're not able to share who this client was, but we are happy to share these results with you. So our PFAS removal from leachate is really special. Lots of technologies struggle to treat leachate because of how many nasty things are in the leachate and how those can interact with treatment technologies. This is information that we have where we worked with raw leachate or treated leachate, and we're happy to be a standalone treatment or to work with other technologies like foam fractionation to achieve these results. The next two slides are economic slides, and I know some of you are going to look at this and you know, they're going to dispute the costs, but understand that they are only examples put together from a variety of sources. So there's a lot of information, but the key takeaways is that this technology has way lower annual O&M costs than standard treatment, because we're spending much less on waste disposal of PFAS captured media compared to other techniques. We tend to have lower installed costs and daily O&M costs because of low electrical energy and chemistry required. We offer clients real-time PFAS removal monitoring and remote monitoring. So, you know, this the way the system works, you know, PFAS removal and conductivity removal mirror one another. So we are able to tell how our system is functioning when it needs to be cleaned or a module needs to be changed in real time. The long and the short of it is that after 10 years, an operator could be spending 90% less if they choose this technology over others. So the company has its first commercial installation, so we've moved beyond just pilot testing, and this is the installation that's going on in New Jersey. And as we speak, they're supposed to be moving this equipment in and getting it installed. There was a delay in getting this particular project in place because they had to build the structure to house the technology. But it's moving forward, and the timeline is that it should be up and running by mid-October. So this one, importantly also, is that it is a potable water system for a small municipal housing addition. And we, the company is working with the US EPA and the state of New Jersey to pull this forward. And, you know, I think it's a real success to move to this step as the company has moved along. Okay. So what makes this technology shine is the system is scalable, so there can be a half a gallon a minute to thousands of gallons a minute. So we offer all their customers a process guarantee with a maintenance contract that includes destruction. And again, that certification that it's gone and they don't have any future liability. There's a large network of representatives that are working across the globe, and they're covering domestic and international markets, so there's great potential there. And they've created a network of strategic partnerships to fill the gaps. So we have partners with supply chain capabilities, contract manufacturing, and project management. And in some cases, these partners have their own PFAS technologies, and we are creating teaming agreements where they couple their technology with this technology to enhance the system. And lastly, there's an ever-growing pipeline of opportunities from small municipalities to Fortune 500 global companies looking for an alternative to these more traditional technologies. And it just puts one more option on the table, and it is creating a strong foundation for growth. But again, it's all about the team. I wanted to just mention and give much thanks to Dennis Calvert. He's the CEO of the overall BioLargo company, and he is now a member of the U.S. Department of Commerce's Environmental Technologies Trade Advisory Committee, and he is really been a facilitator to get a lot of doors open for BioLargo, both domestically and internationally, and really has given a voice to these emerging technologies in the government sphere. So the rest of the team is myself and our champion of all champions, Tonya Chandler, who's the CEO, along with Larry Dick and Jeff Neitlinger, who were major leaders of water districts across the board. So that's the story. And I'd be willing to take any questions.
That was a great overview,
Okay.
Sally.
Thank you.
How about would you want to sit down for a few minutes?
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
we'll do some.
Of course, yeah. I don't know how much time.
I know we have a little bit.
Okay.
Well, it sounds very interesting, and maybe just first you talked about the New Jersey installation is in progress. What's step 2 after that? What's next after the is it where is that in somewhere in Stockholm, New Jersey? Stockton. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the first one, but there's a whole pipeline of projects that are coming up, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. It's not public information yet. So there are others in the pipeline that are coming, and it looks really bright. So a lot of interest in the technology. So that's awesome.
Good. That seems like a good next step.
Yeah.
Maybe how has the regulatory environment changed regarding PFAS? And how has that impacted or benefited your business over the last year or so?
Yeah, so I think it's been said here in the presentations by the prior speakers that the businesses and the industries and the municipalities, they're still worried. And this issue about citizens being able to come after utilities and industries that are, releasing these into the environment, and people may be drinking the water. And it's interesting, in the EPA actions, where they're saying, no, we don't need to, take care of Gen X. we don't need to take care of Gen X in the water. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, the citizens in those
Not the
communities
right answer. Yeah.
are not going to be very pleased about that, because I think the evidence is very clear that there are health issues that ensue from consuming these contaminants. So I think the utilities and the states will lead, of course. The state's very powerful in this, but they will lead to encourage the utilities to do everything they can to mitigate. So, the company hasn't really seen any hesitancy there because of all of the lawsuits and all of the potential future liability that's still going on. And I think that, even the additional time that's been given to the utilities to come into compliance, they're worried about that too, because what happens in that intervening time, and could lawsuits be filed there? And what do the people do in the interim?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be having less regulation regarding PFAS or other contaminants going forward. I agree with you on that. Maybe I could get one more from the audience if there is, before we have to say goodbye for this year. Well, if not, Sally, that was a great overview. Thank you for coming, and thank you for BioLargo to support us, and we hope to have you back next year. Great job.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Tony Bancroft and Timothy Winter, CFA, are portfolio managers. Wayne Pinsent, CFA, is Director of Research and Research Analyst, and Rosemary Morbelli, CFA, and Dr. Rebecca Stern, PhD, are Research Analysts at Gabelli Funds. The above webcast is a recording from the 3rd Annual PFAS Symposium, which occurred on September 17, 2025. GAMCO is providing these links as a matter of general information. We do not intend for these links to be a complete description of any security or company, nor is it a research report with respect to any of the companies mentioned herein. As of June 30, 2025, affiliates of GAMCO Investors Incorporated beneficially owned 1.1% of Minerals Technologies and less than 1% of all other companies mentioned. The analysts' views are subject to change at any time based on market and other conditions. The information in this posting represents the opinions of the analyst and is not intended to be a forecast of future events, a guarantee of future results, or investment advice. Views expressed are those of the analyst and may differ from those of other GAMCO officers, analysts, other employees, or of the firm as a whole. Because the investment personnel at GAMCO and our affiliates make individual investment decisions with respect to the client accounts that they manage, these accounts may have transactions inconsistent with the information contained in this posting. Certain GAMCO personnel may know the substance of the posting prior to its posting. This webcast is not an offer to sell any security, nor is it a solicitation of an offer to buy any security. Stocks are subject to market, economic, and business risks that cause their prices to fluctuate. When you sell shares, they may be worth less than what you paid for them. For more information, a prospectus, or summary prospectus, visit our website at www.gabelli.com or call 800 Gabelli 800 422 355 914 921 5100 fax 914 921 5118 info@gabelli.com.